Welcome to Coors Light College Football Saturday.
Robert Griffin III, the Big 12's leader in quarterback efficiency, meets conference rushing leader Henry Josie of Missouri. Right now on College Football Saturday, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. It's homecoming at Baylor, and for two of the Bears' biggest superstars, it's great to be home. Robert Griffin III, the top quarterback in Baylor history, an electrifying athlete. And it's Kendall Wright on the receiving end, Baylor's all-time career leader in receptions. Two reasons the Bears are undefeated at home. The Missouri Tigers come in off a huge road win against the Aggies. Now they face another hostile road environment for the Big 12's rushing leader, Henry Josie. Missouri at Baylor, a monster Big 12 battle. Welcome to Floyd Casey Stadium for Big 12 College Football Saturday, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Tonight, the Missouri Tigers invade Bear Country. It's homecoming weekend as the Tigers take on Baylor. Hi, everybody. Joel Myers alongside Brian Baldinger, and welcome to Waco for what should be a wild one offensively. Brian, the Missouri Tigers come in off a huge win last weekend at Texas A&M, and a breakthrough game. At least they're hoping for their quarterback, James Franklin, the way they came back in the second half.
Yeah, you know, I call him Frank the Tank. I mean, this guy is 6'3", he's 230 pounds. He's a physical specimen. They're looking for consistency from him. Last week was his best performance of the year, where he bounced off defenders and defenders bounced off him, and he rumbled into the end zone for 2 rushing touchdowns. This one was sensational, a YouTube highlight. And then he threw the game winner in overtime to Marcus Lucas. So he counted for 4 touchdowns last week. They're looking for a little more consistency from James Franklin now. And that's what the Baylor Bears are looking for from the defensive side, giving up 114 points over their last 2 games, losing to Oklahoma State and Texas A&M. Now they try to slow down the Missouri Tigers, also try to snap a 2-game losing streak. Let's remember, they are undefeated, though, right here in Waco behind the great play of Robert Griffin III and their gifted wide receiver, Kendall Wright. I've been waiting all year to see RG3 in person myself, Joel, because I think he's the whole package. He's got elite speed. He's got command of the team. He's got a nice arm that has a deep ball. And look, every elite quarterback needs an elite receiver, and that's where Kendall Wright comes in. 25 of his 260 catches at Baylor have gone for touchdowns. These are 2 sprinters that are football players first. They put that speed on the field. They can strike from anywhere on the field. This is a high-powered offense that I think Missouri's going to have a hard time containing tonight.
They could blow up the scoreboard. We'll see. It's homecoming weekend in Waco, and stay with us on a beautiful night for College Football Saturday. When we come back, Kevin Frazier and Marcus Allen join us in our Coors Light studio. You're watching Big 12 College Football Saturday, all presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. As on homecoming weekend, the Baylor Bears take the field. And welcome once again to Floyd Casey Stadium. Missouri's Tigers on the road in the Lone Star State for the 2nd consecutive week. And let's head downstairs and check in with Jim Knox. Knoxy.
Coach, what a game tonight. You're going to have to try to slow down the Big 12 leading rusher, Henry Josie, averaging 127 yards per game. How do you do it?
Well, I mean, nobody's done it yet. We think we got a real good scheme. Of course, you got to worry about Franklin, too. He's a great rusher. So they do a great job schematically. Our guys will be in place. They'll use great technique and make tackles.
One good thing, you're playing at home undefeated this season. How special is that?
It's very special. We've been on the road a couple of weeks. You know, like Dorothy said it best, there's no place like home.
There you go, Coach. Best of luck. Thank you.
Joel? Thank you, Jim. Well, Dorothy was on last night up against the USC game.
I was watching a little of The Wizard of Oz, one of the great movies of all time.
Yes. So
it was so windy today, Joel. I thought like I was going to get blown away all the way to Kansas.
Ben Parks kicking it away as Missouri won the toss. They have elected to receive. And T.J. Moe, the single back in the middle, as Missouri is trying to win consecutive games for the first time this year. So we are ready in Waco. Good to have you with us in College Football Saturday as we are underway. And in the line drive downwind, Moe 8 yards deep will stay in the end zone. So offensively for the Missouri Tigers, offensive line, they've got experience, a 4-year starter on the right side.
And they have wide splits up there. Watch how far those linemen split apart. Henry Josie, as we just said in the open, leads the Big 12 in rushing. Certainly that's going to be the focal point of Baylor, trying to take him out of the game.
And Franklin coming off, well, they hope it's a breakthrough game after what happened the week before when he turned it over 4 times. Last week he threw for 2 scores, ran for 2 others in spectacular fashion. They run Josie, a little jet action out of the backfield. He's got a nice lane over to the right side. He's got a first down into the secondary, and down the sideline, Henry Josie, the leader in the Big 12, with a huge chunk to start the game all the way to the 45.
Joel, they start in an empty set, and then they run Josie in motion, what they call jet motion. And really, Phil Bennett, the defensive coordinator of Baylor, had made a point to say, not many guys can go laterally like that, take the ball and then go north-south the way that he just did.
162 last week, his 4th consecutive 100-yard game. It's empty for Franklin. Trips on the wide side. That's where he's looking, and he's going too tall for his wide receiver T.J. Moe on that side. Now defensively, in the 4-3 for the Baylor Bears. Can they slow him down?
Well, the big guy in the middle, Nicholas Jean-Baptiste, is the guy that does that. The middle linebacker leads him in tackles, Elliott Casey. And then Chance Casey has moved from corner to safety to try to shore up a weakened secondary.
So opening in the nickel of 4-2-5. Fake it, Franklin with a tight end, or the wide receiver Lucas. And not much, just about 3 as we look at the Missouri game plan. Keys for them, Brian, going in.
Well, they went to A&M last week, and they shocked them in overtime. And they can't have a hangover. They can't overlook Baylor here. And then their whole offense is predicated upon first downs, hanging on to the ball and balance, running it, throwing it, and then physically, I think they're better than Baylor. They got to win in the trenches here this evening.
Well, they've got 4 on the wide side, a bunch up top. Franklin needs 7 on 3rd down. He's bringing Moe to Lucas's side on the design roll, and now going deep for T.J. Moe, and overshoots him. He looked inside, the ball over the wrong shoulder, and they fail on 3rd and 7 after the great start by Josie.
Good coverage that time by K.J. Morton, who had Moe here. And you can see that the wind is going to be a factor tonight, Joel. I mean, it is whipping out there, and I was talking to RG3 before the game. Is it better to throw into the wind or have it at your back? I think it's better to throw into it like he did, but Franklin was just a little too hot with that ball.
Back deep. It's going to be Kendall Wright waiting for the Trey Barrow punt. And the wobbler, as you mentioned, into a stiff wind, and what a bounce for Baylor. Still past the 30. That is about an 8-yard punt. That's all it is. So what a shift for Baylor after they gave up that huge run. Now offensively for the Baylor Bears, led by Robert Griffin III, one of the most efficient in the nation. And on the left side, Richardson moves from guard to tackle this year.
Well, he took over for Danny Watkins, who now plays for the Philadelphia Eagles. And then Kendall Wright, their all-time leading everything receiver. Number 1, he's a burner. That's Griffin's favorite target. In fact, Wright has 66 catches. The next leading receiver has 30.
So gaudy numbers, 23 touchdowns over 4 picks. Man, the man in motion is going to get it. Man, past the 40 out to the 42-yard line.
He's
a good
down,
run,
too.
but unfortunately, down to the ground is RG3.
No, not long. He took a shot, though. I think they're going to make him at least get looked at here. Unless they call a timeout, he can't come out. But this is just a straight option read right here. Going to fake it underneath. Now he's going to take it. There's a shot right there from Jacquez Smith.
Give Webb that helmet to the back.
Yep.
So good run. And now the backup is in there. It is going to be Bryce Petty. Redshirt freshman. Man, nothing doing on the carry. It's Salubi. So it's going to be 3rd and 2, and RG3, Robert Griffin III, is back on the field. 2 minutes gone by. And a wild start, and we said it could be that kind of game. Two teams that can put together not only tempo, the way they run their systems, but quick strikes.
Well, that's what Baylor specializes in. Half of their touchdowns they've scored this year have been in about 2 minutes or less.
Ganaway in the backfield. So keep Missouri from changing personnel. Calling the play at the line.
Clock really ticking down here, right up against it.
And it's Griffin on the zone read. Easily gets into the secondary, and he's got a first down. Across midfield, down to the Missouri 45. Andrew Wilson caught up with him, just barely.
Well, here's the option read now. I mean, here comes Ganaway underneath now. And he's going to be reading the outside man here. All right, so what he does on this play right here is if that end closes, then he pulls the ball out. Option reads, they do it well.
Looking one way, and he's going for the bundle. He's got Kendall Wright, and with contact, made the catch, but they say incomplete. What concentration by Kendall Wright, despite the fact he was bumped with the ball coming in. And Griffin there's something wrong with Robert Griffin right now.
He took a shot at the end of the play, but look at how wide White is. He's just going to run just a little smash concept, and he gets behind Webb there. Catches the ball out of bounds, but the other end of that was Griffin really took a shot. Look at the concentration by Wright. He's more than just fast. Ooh.
Going to be second and 10 at the 45. It's Ganaway. Slugs it up the middle for about 3 to the 42 of Missouri. Now, back to the play we were talking about. You mentioned that Griffin got hit at the end of the play.
Well, he takes a shot right there at the end by Dominic Hamilton, who's just a load in the middle for Missouri. I said physically they're better than Baylor in the trenches. That's an example of the type of play that they can do from a number of big, thick guys playing that defensive line.
Illegal substitution.
Illegal substitution. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Art Briles now in his 4th year for the Baylor Bears, and their game plan going in.
Well, look, they had 622 yards of offense last week. They only scored 24 points. They need more production from their yards, and then they got to take Henry Josie out of the game defensively and not let him beat him. Make Franklin beat them in the pass game.
It's going to be 3rd and 12 for the Bears now. Back at the Missouri 47. Pocket holding up, and now Madison pushes him out of the pocket. Plenty of time, and upright, incomplete. Almost an incredible play all the way around with Griffin and Wright. Well, it looked like Madison was going to get him.
Well, you're going to see RG does a good job of avoiding just a 3-man rush right now. Little jittery right here. He breaks out. He buys himself some time. But then the throw is just a little hot to Wright. And Kendall Wright now, he is a track athlete with world-class speed, but he also has a good vertical jump. For him to overthrow Kendall Wright, that ball was real high.
It'll be the Big 12's Defensive Player of the Week, E.J. Gaines. Their cornerback waiting for the punt from Roth. And off the side of his foot. What a break for Missouri. And don't forget the wind at the back of the true freshman Spencer Roth from Knoxville. So Missouri, and did they get a piece of it? They're saying they did. Only a 9-yard punt. Missouri gets it back at their own 38. It's about 4 minutes in. Joel Myers along with Brian Baldinger. Jim Knox. As James Franklin and the Tigers get great field position. They're very fortunate after that punt. Nobody was within a half hour of getting a piece of it. And it's going to be at the 38. Josie joining him in the backfield. And now a little bubble action out of the wing. It's T.J. Moe. Man, he's got good yardage out to about the 45 for 7 as he's brought down by Coffee. Jim Knox, what's the latest?
Joel looking at Robert Griffin on the bench right now. Took a shot to his left wrist. He was kind of moving it up and down. He's okay. Shook his head. He is A-okay. Just took a shot to that left wrist. But as you see talking to Kendall Wright on the bench right now, he's doing fine. He'll be back in, of course.
Some of the best wheels in all of college football. We talk about his accuracy throwing the football, and now a penalty will be marked off at the end of the play.
Remember, just 2 years ago, Robert Griffin III got hurt against Missouri in the game.
So on the penalty on Missouri to mark off the 15, 1st and 25. Franklin in the read. Up the seam he goes. And he gets most of the penalty yardage back. He got 12 at the 15, out to the 35. He's tripped up there by Ahmad Dixon out of the secondary.
Now, Missouri does a couple things that are unusual. One is here's going to be the read option right here to Josie inside right here. Just going to read the end as well again. That end goes wide to Josie. Franklin takes it right into the middle like that.
It'll be a quarterback read all the way. Franklin belted immediately and dropped by Coffey. Coffey very involved. A legacy. His father, Ken, of course, is safety with the Washington Redskins. So now a 3rd and long coming up for Franklin.
Well, his big tight end target is Michael Egner, who last year caught 90 passes. He's way down this year as Franklin has really begun to learn the position of quarterback and where that guy could be. Right here, here's Egner right there in the middle.
So 3rd and 10. Pocket holds up well for Franklin. And with a gun, he's got the 1st down. So he gets it across and right about to Kemp at the midfield stripe. They'll give him the 49. The senior from St. Louis's De Smet High School.
Well, Baylor just rushes 4. And when they rush 4, they have a hard time getting to the quarterback. Franklin has a lot of time right there. That's a big throw from one hash all the way to the sideline.
From the 49, it'll be Franklin again on the zone read, and Franklin doing a good job. He's got 10 more. And whoa, they put him down right at the 1st down marker. He's dropped by Mike Hicks, once again the safety, a junior from China Spring, Texas. But you brought up a point. With a straight 4-man rush, they consistently don't get pressure. Need a yard. Man, it's Kendall Lawrence, the junior from right here in Rockwall, Texas. 35 Tigers are from the state of Texas. They do a good job, and I got a feeling last night when they got into town, they fanned out to their various high schools.
Well, they've recruited well here. I mean, James Franklin himself is right here from Corinth, Texas. You take a look at the running back. Josie is from Angleton, Texas. Their stars are right here from the Lone Star State.
Ton of time, wide open receiver. In fact, 2 were wide open, and he missed both. He had Lucas with the game winner. Washington was the intended target, but both were in the middle of the field available.
And that's the 2nd deep shot that Franklin has had here already in this 1st quarter, and he's overthrown both of them. So really what they're looking for from Franklin right now in his 9th start is more consistency. The consistency that he showed last week in that upset win at College Station. Here comes a blitz look from Baylor. Coming off the edge. Right now they changed the play.
Bring Lawrence into the backfield. And it's Lawrence over an angle to the left side. He's got the 1st down, tripped up at the Baylor 25 consistently as Dixon gets him. They're getting into the 2nd level, into the backfield, defensive backfield of Baylor.
Well, they blitzed that time right off the edge, and Lawrence ran right by him. So he's got a guard leading him on the backside right there.
It's
Austin
Josie,
Weathers.
tag team match. He's got 5. Who would have ever believed that Missouri would go to the spread as they have in the past, but they're in a spread now like the Oregon Ducks to run the football?
Well, they've got balance, and they actually run it more than they throw it. All right, and right now that's their best matchup.
Out of the wing, it's Agnew. He gets a little kick out and breaks the tackle inside the 10 person goal. Nice little block by T.J. Moe. Coffey saved the score. Well, you had mentioned 90 catches for Agnew last year. Different quarterback last year. Franklin finding himself. And this, as you mentioned, his 9th career start. It's Josie wheeling his way. Touchdown, Missouri. Flag on the play, though, right at the original line of scrimmage.
Somebody from Missouri had their helmet off, and I don't know if it got knocked off by a Baylor defensive player.
Personal foul could be assessed on the kickoff.
Touchdown. Personal foul. Face mask. Number 26. Defense. Penalty of enforced on the kickoff.
It's Rodney Chadwick, the linebacker out of Carthage, Texas. So the extra point try coming up for Trey Barrow.
And there it is. And he just got the hands underneath it. Got a grab of the face mask and just did what came natural. Just jerked it. Not going to get away with away with that.
Reset the clock, or will it be a delay game? No penalty on Missouri. So they'll reset the clock. 8:04 to play in the opening 15 minutes. Barrow, one of the most valuable Tigers on the field tonight. With Wrestle out, the backup place kicker has never been on the field for the Tigers in his career. So 7 minutes in, Missouri gets the first 7 points of the game. They're trying to win back-to-back games for the first time this year and get a boost from Josie at Baylor.
And you see the finish there by Braylon Webb with another big play from him. Too bad. I mean, it's points for production. That's what bothered them last week. 24 points, 622 yards of offense. They need more points for the way they're driving the ball.
Josie in the backfield on a little pitch, and a nice block by the wide receiver once again. Wes Kemp this time enables Josie, a good wall. So Kemp with the block, Josie with the first down to the 32.
And how about Josie? What a story. Starting the year off as the third-team tailback. But because of attrition, injuries, he's gotten a chance, and all he's done so far is lead the Big 12 in rushing.
It's Josie again, and running up the back, but not going down yet. Boy, I thought once he hit Justin Britt, he was down. But the escapability, and I got to tell you something, I never thought I'd see the day with Gary Pinkel as the head coach that Missouri would lead the Big 12 in rushing. And that's the case right now for the Tigers, coming in with 244 a game on the ground.
You know, my friend does the radio for Missouri, Howard Richards. We played together in Dallas with a guy named Dorsett. And you can't help but sort of look at him and go, he's got a lot of Dorsett in him.
It's Josie. He's not a big guy. The escapability we talked about at 5'10", 190.
Yeah, but he's strong, Joel. He's got a great 2-foot cut jump step. All right, and he's durable. I mean, he's taken a lot of carries here this year at 190. He gives out a little bit of punishment.
Another third down coming up for Missouri. 3rd and short. Franklin's got room over to the outside if he wants to run for it. Instead, he goes back, and right at the marker did the wide receiver Wes Kemp get it. It'll depend upon the spot. And he got a good one.
It's a nice play by Franklin of extending that play. Not an easy thing to do here. Be able to, you can just see the route combinations right now.
Coming back and help,
yeah, just come underneath, just a flanker drive where inside guy runs him off and Kemp comes underneath, and Franklin going to his left got his shoulder square to get rid of that ball.
Kendall Lawrence taking over for Josie in the backfield. Pocket holds up well again. Agnew making a miss again. Boy, what a load. Close to the midfield stripe. 6'6". Missouri fans have seen it a number of times. The guy caught 90 last year. 6'6", 250. And unfortunately for the Tigers, he's a senior.
Well, he caught a lot of those from Blaine Gabbert, who only starts for the Jacksonville Jags right now. So he lost a great pocket quarterback.
Big hole for Lawrence. He's into the secondary. Down to the 36. Joe Williams hanging on for dear life. And a 15-yard gain.
Look at these splits inside here. Like 3 to 4 feet between the linemen. Natural holes for Lawrence to run through.
It's out on the bubble from Mo. Man, good job of cutting back for an extra 3 or 4 to the 29. Dropped by Chadwick.
You know, Joe, we saw Oregon just a couple of weeks ago, and they kind of started this whole speed offense. I got to tell you, Missouri, they run plays at a clip every bit as fast as Oregon.
Well, in the 11 years Pinkel has been at Mizzou, they've always been high tempo. But this is a different look, and now Lawrence in trouble and cut off at the pass. On a 2nd and short, good job on the outside by Terrence Lloyd, the left end.
Well, Baylor is playing their ends in a 2-point stance today, rather than put their head down on the line of scrimmage, because they got to defeat. There's Phil Bennett right there, who's traveled well through the college football world, but he showed us a game plan yesterday. He's convinced that he can slow down this Tiger offense.
Now the blitz coming. Franklin trying to make a miss, does exactly that. into the secondary, but he's going to be short. Despite that, he'll give potentially Barrow a field goal try if they want to go for it. It would be about a 48-yard attempt, make it about 58 because of the wind, though.
I think right here they're just keeping the offense on. I mean, right there, he's in no man's land right there.
And the wind is gusting at least 20, 25 miles an hour minimum. So they will go for it on 4th down. You see the numbers, what they've done so far this season. You don't want too many of those up there, though. Now, blitz off the edge. He's going for the bundle, and it's underthrown. His wide receiver, Brandon Giroux, was available. But into the wind, it died.
That's the third now. The third into the wind, Joel, where it's had an effect on the ball. And it had an effect on the decision. Ball starts to just get knocked down right there, right? Just like the kickoff did going into that end zone. You throw the ball up, and the wind is knocking it down. That's just what it did. It knocked it right down to the warning path instead of going out of the park.
You talked about consistency, though, from Franklin. And that also includes decisions.
Yes.
Into the wind. You don't want to throw a deep ball when you need 10 yards. Throw 12 or 14.
Throw it underneath and let some of their, their great athletes make the first down. Great play. Great series there by Baylor. Gave up some yards, but stopped them when they had to.
Now, Griffin on a toss. It's Kendall right on the reverse. Man, in the open field. Not a shabby job at all by Braylon Webb, who made a big play in the end zone. And Wright gets up. Or does he get up? Grabbing the back of his calf. Ooh.
That's
bad news for the Bears.
That's devastating right there. I mean, that's a huge part of the passing offense. Tries to make this cut here on Webb. I think, there it is.
Ankle.
Yeah, that leg got caught underneath him, trapped underneath. I don't even want to watch it.
Look at the left ankle.
Yeah, no, it gets stuck in the ground. Stuck right in the ground there, Joel, and he couldn't get it out in time. Hopefully he can walk it off.
2nd and 2 after the reverse. Now, force the toss. It's Ganaway, and he's got a first down. Across the 45 to the 46 as we check in with Jim Knox.
All right, Joel, you're talking about the wind down there. 40 miles an hour wind right now. Baylor's going to do some damage to the air. They need to do it now. Check out this. Brian Boldinger's hair right there, right there. He goes onto the field, basically. Very windy. The wind definitely a factor in tonight's game, guys.
I got the flyaway toupee on today. Yeah, I got to be careful.
I thought it was a tearaway. 1st and 10 outside of the 45. Griffin, long throw on the outside. The kickoff blocks are there. And another long gain on first down, close to 10, as Tevin Reese is brought down. Sophomore from Temple. So they're moving the football. And they do get the first down to the Missouri 44. 3rd possession of the game as they look at Kendall Wright. Griffin now after the play fake. He's only got a single on that side, who comes back to help him out. Terrence Williams, good read, working against E.J. Gaines.
One thing about RG3, right there, he felt a little pressure. He just, he has such suddenness about him. Just darted to his right, set his feet, calmly threw the ball on the run.
Makes everything look easy. There's the tight end, Niver. Yeah, he's got a first down inside the 25. Little darts now, even though they're downwind.
Joe, how quickly did he just get that ball out of his hands? It's like a shortstop. It's like Jeter turning a double play. I mean, the ball's in it, and it's out of his hands so quickly.
And I don't blame Niver for transferring from Stanford after seeing those free tight ends that are at Stanford with Fleener on top of that package. So Missouri at the end of the first 15 minutes of play with a 7-0 lead as you're watching Big 12 College Football Saturday. Big 12 College Football Saturday continues. Homecoming weekend in Waco, Texas. And Baylor driving now, trying to tie things up as we look at the Bank of America first quarter numbers with Missouri on top, 7-0.
Yeah, Baylor's got 145 total yards of offense. They're averaging 8 yards a play, but they have no points because of the turnover by RG3 inside their 5-yard line, and that's what plagued them really the past 2 weeks. In fact, I talked to Robert before the game. He said, look, we have only ourselves to blame for these past 2 losses.
Jim Knox, what's going on?
All right, they just retaped wide receiver Kendall's right ankle. He gave a thumbs up saying he's okay, but then when he got up after it was taped, he started shaking his head and went out there to meet the team. I think, guys, he's going to give it a go. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, there was a nasty turn. The right ankle.
He's got his helmet on.
Salubi in the backfield as the single. The junior from White here in Waco. On a first down, first snap of the second quarter. At the Missouri 22. And it's Salubi stumbling his way for about 6.
I think they're going to Salubi because he's a little quicker, you know, to the hole than Ganaway is. And there's obviously Kendall Wright going back in. They took the tape off, they retaped the ankle, then they taped over it, and then they put the sock over it. So he's got a little more stability right now.
And let's see if he's the same guy on the push. They get it out on the edge. Tevin Reese has a first down. He's bumped out over on that side. Kip Edwards was working there. Jackson as well.
And here Baylor is, Joel. Now they're
Back in the red zone.
right there at the 11-yard line. Let's see what kind of production they can get here. Fresh set of downs. They can still get a first down before a touchdown.
Let's go, 2-3.
Ganaway in motion out of the backfield. Different look with Griffin under center. Jacquez Smith got in on Robert Griffin. Pretty good vertical for the big guy.
Well, Jacquez Smith is their best defensive player. I mean, he's an outstanding talent. He reminds me a lot of Aldon Smith, last year's defensive end that was drafted by the San Francisco 49ers with the 7th pick in the draft. There's his type of athletic ability. Griffin gets him up in the air. He wanted to go to Kendall Wright. They took him out of the play there.
Last week, Baylor had 13 snaps inside the 5 before they finally scored on their 14. So they've got issues in the red zone. From the 11, Griffin wheeling out of the flat, grabbed by Ganaway and dropped immediately. How about Andrew Wilson's play at the 7? Good coverage by the linebacker, their leading tackler.
Yeah, right from the middle linebacker spot. And all he did was just read the motion. And he just used his lateral speed to take down Ganaway.
So now 3rd and 6 from the 7.
They look a little confused about what personnel they want in the game. Still have plenty of time. 15 seconds left on the clock.
Eric Wolf coming on. Man, will he stay on? That's their jumbo guy on the right side, like a wing.
Here's Kendall Wright at the
3rd
bottom.
down. Griffin with heat. Jump ball for Williams and batted away. Edwards doing a good job. And is there, yes, a flag down.
Wow.
No recognition, they say, early enough. And a pass interference call.
Terrence Williams at 6'3", their tallest receiver out there.
Pass interference, number 1 in the defense. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 2. First down.
Tough one for Kip Edwards.
Yeah. Tell you, technically, if you turn to look for the ball, you should be able to body the receiver. By rule, that should not be a foul when the defensive back turns to look for the ball.
I think if you were to ask Gary Pinkel, he'd agree with you just a little. 13:20 left in the half. And now 1st and goal to the 2. Option. Griffin running out of racing route. And off the edge, we talked about the strength of Sheldon Richardson. Showed some pretty good footwork.
Yeah, by Richardson and Jacquez Smith, and really it confused RG3 about what to do with that ball.
Penetration.
Well, if you hesitate, then you get the penetration. This kid is a great athlete, though. This Jacquez Smith. It doesn't take long. I mean, it's kind of easy scouting watching him on film.
We saw the Missouri film from last week yesterday. And he shows up a lot.
Yeah.
Sets up on the same side as Richardson once again. Now Griffin on 2nd and goal. Ton of time. Backside pressure. Can he turn the corner? Just threw it away. Smart play. Good coverage. Kip Edwards.
They're taking everything away right now. I mean, they're taking away the quick read. They're taking away the option right now. And as athletic as RG3 is, he can't outrun, the defense because they really have it, what you call setting the edge. They really set the edge and boxed him in.
And that was big Lucas Vincent, who was chasing him from behind, a redshirt freshman from Olathe, Kansas. Missouri is rotating 8 in their front 4 now. So it'll be 3rd and goal. Back at the 6. And do they need a timeout?
They better get one.
Yeah, the red zone issues. Will they continue for Art Briles and the Bears? We'll find out when we come back. They are welcome to the Big 12 in all sports. Ryan Broyles, Big 12's all-time leader in career receiving yards now. Oklahoma State 8-0 for the second time in school history. And bad news for the Sooners. We understand that Ryan Broyles hurt earlier today in their win over Texas A&M, a torn ACL.
Oh, it's horrible.
That's
what a career.
The worst.
What a career that he's had. You see it end so suddenly like that. It's a terrible blow to the Sooners.
So now another goal line opportunity, red zone. And let's see if they can finally capitalize on a 3rd and goal at the 6.
Well, they're an empty backfield with 5 receivers. Right here you got Kendall Wright in the near slot. That'd be the first target that RG would look at.
And Willie try to bring it back and maybe go up the middle on his own as they spread things out.
Now there's nobody in the middle of the field.
He will now bring Kendall Wright into the backfield. Looks in the middle. Touchdown Baylor. Wide open Terrence Williams.
Missouri left the middle of the field open, and Terrence Williams just went right to the void. Good read by RG3. You're going to get Terrence Williams just coming right across the middle. Really a zone look. Nobody picked him up.
Now to tie things up, Aaron Jones, and into the win. It is even at 7. So 2.5 minutes into the second quarter, they finally figure things out after all those snaps inside the 20. And it was easy. Uncovered Terrence Williams, the equalizer for the Baylor Bears.
But, you know, look, they had 8 red zone plays there, helped out by the pass interference penalty. Took 8 red zone plays to get it into the end zone, but they broke the drought. They've tied it up here. You got the fans on homecoming weekend up on their feet. You know, I mean, defensively, Baylor really can't ask for anything more. They've given up 1 drive out of 3 possessions for Missouri. The defense, the question mark, has played real well in the first quarter plus.
Now Jones to kick it away. And a very short one. Taken up front. And a nice return. Making a miss. Not intending to find Jimmy Hunt, but he'll take it. As Mo was back deep. And it'll be across the 35 to the 37. Academy Sports and Outdoors game break time as we go to Kevin Frazier and Mark South.
Guys, we check in on the other top 10 SEC showdown, Arkansas and South Carolina. After the Gamecock score, uh-oh, that's Dennis Johnson, and he's gone. Keep in mind, Arkansas is still in the mix in the SEC West with just 1 loss.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Josie. And he won't get out of the backfield. One of the few times they've shut Missouri down, it was the outside backer. The end, Lloyd, and Elliott rather, that made the play. Missouri ran it last week against an A&M squad that went into the game 5th in the country against the run for 284. Before that, they had 121 on 15 carries. That's the first time they've been slowed down on the ground. Josie on the low snap at the backfield. Franklin will keep it. And with the wind at their back, if ever you're going to throw the football, this is the time. It's set 2 straight runs out to the 38, gain of 2. So a key 3rd down early in the second quarter for Missouri.
Well, Phil Bennett's going to like what he sees right there. He had an excellent game plan, but they're executing the game plan right now. They're taking the speed run underneath away from Josie, forcing right now Franklin to keep it.
Devin Moore is taken over in the backfield. Now check at the line.
Right, and then the noise is picking up here inside the stadium.
It's a 3rd and 9. Primary option taken away, and he'll come up short. Franklin gets into it, and delivered a blow himself as he ran into Ahmad Dixon.
Ahmad Dixon just delivered a blow. I tell you, Franklin, they call him Frank the Tank. And Dixon just went right at him.
Who got the best of this one?
Well, you know, when you knock him off the field, the defense wins it. Now, Franklin knocked him down.
Yeah, he looked like he had the mo.
He's got him about 30 pounds. But for the third time in 4 possessions, Baylor gets off the field here. So, excellent job by Bennett and that defense.
Levi Norwood waiting for the barrel punt.
Jeez.
Like rules football.
Jeez.
But it'll come back out to the 20 on the touchback. So it's even at 7. Baylor's offense back on the field. When we come back, Kevin Frazier, Marcus.
Really hid behind the blocker out there enough to get the first down in that run.
That's 7 for 44 yards for Jared Salubi on a first down play fake. Nothing available downfield. Here comes Griffin. And he's got room to roam. As he's put down with a first down. That's the dangerous aspect of Robert Griffin, though. This guy that went to the 2008 Olympic trials in the 400 meters.
Well, I got to tell you, that guy has a beautiful stride. I just like watching him run. One day in my life, I would just like to be able to run like that just once.
Dreamland.
History.
It's Ganaway into the secondary. Wilson got to him. Gave him a shot, but not before he got 12. And now Baylor moving the ball efficiently on the ground.
It's interesting that Robert Griffin came out of Copperas Cove High School, transferred, didn't finish high school, graduated, came in January, enrolled, ran track, won the 400 hurdles in the Big 12, then played spring football.
It's the tight end, Nyberg. And going for the short stuff now has paid off for Griffin underneath. He gets 11 to the tight end, who's dumped by Gaines.
And they're getting close to that part of the field where they just really struggle, don't they? When the field shrinks and it gets compressed, this offense shrinks and gets compressed. Maybe they should take a shot from here, from outside the red zone.
It's at the 21 on a first down on a drive that started back at their own 20. Kendall Wright just doesn't look like he's comfortable. Over the middle, checked and deflected.
I tell you,
it looked like the lug in the middle, Lucas Vincent, may have gotten it. Without the penetration, read the quarterback and got a hand up there.
And Joel, you're talking about a lug as in terms of endearment, right?
Always.
Yeah.
We're all lugs if we can't run.
Right.
Yep, Lucas Vincent.
Yeah. Those tackles, they have a 4-man tackle rotation, and they're good. They're 4 lugs in the middle right there. Yeah, they're good.
And they're vertical as their tiptoes. It's Griffin right up the middle. Nobody at home. First and goal, Baylor. Boy, buried it with Glasgow Martin and didn't show the football until the last second. Boy, 15 yards on the carry.
He read it perfectly. The defense just opened up right up the middle, and he's going to see it. You're going to see just up the middle here. Easy read.
It's Martin. Now, in the red zone again. It'll be second and goal at the 6.
Funny. Coming out as an offensive lineman right now is the right guard, Robert Griffin. Not related to the quarterback, Robert Griffin III.
That's Robert T. Griffin.
Yeah.
It'll be second and goal at the 6. Inside of a minute to play in the half. Baylor still with 2 timeouts on the board. Option, Glasgow Martin. He's got Wilson and goes low. I thought he'd take it to the corner to the pylon. It'll be third and goal inside the 2.
I thought he had a chance. I thought Martin had a chance there. Wilson was out there in space. One move might have been able to juke him, but there's a reason why that Andrew Wilson leads this team in tackles. That was an important one. Now they bring their big back on, Terrence Ganaway at 240.
And it looks like Missouri called a timeout. And it is a timeout for Gary Pinkel and the Tigers. It is their first. Well, coming up on the Sprint halftime show, Kevin Frazier and Marcus Allen will look at the top 25, all the highlights and scores. How about those Northwestern Wildcats? And look at, as Kevin called it, the game of the century, LSU and Alabama.
It's as hyped a game as I have seen the regular season. I mean, they're hyping it like it's a national championship game, and be interesting to see what happens next week to either one of those teams, no matter who wins, and if there's any kind of a letdown.
And just off strength of schedule, it seems like LSU has had a more difficult one
I agree.
than Alabama going in.
I mean, they started, the kickoff right there at Texas Stadium against the Oregon Ducks, and got a couple key takeaways in that game to beat Oregon.
Well, Missouri has held Baylor, the 9th highest scoring team in the nation, averaging 41 points a contest, to 7 so far.
Yeah, they're great.
So, right, and that's after, and you see Dave Steckel there,
Yeah.
Coach Steck, at 28, that's where they went into the locker room against A&M last week. They'd given up 28. And some of the guys, Dave Steckel didn't have to say much. Jacquez Smith said it for him, and some of the other guys that are seniors on the defensive side. So let's see how they hold up, though. It's inside the 2 on 3rd and goal. And with the problems they're having in the red zone, if Baylor doesn't get it here, they may go for it on 4th down.
Well, they got a couple of timeouts, so they can stop it no matter what happens, should they not score here. I believe you got to get.
After you miss a 27-yard field goal, which they just had Aaron Jones do, they may want to consider if they don't get there.
See, I wouldn't run inside, I think, at Sheldon Richardson and the big guys, the big lugs, as you say, inside. I'd get Robert Griffin III on the perimeter and let him use his athletic ability.
He's got Ganaway at about 240, 250. Next to him, Griffin calling his own number. Belted, did he get there? Still no signal from the linesman. No.
Oh, they're giving
putting him down
they gotta call
at the
the
goal
timeout.
line.
They got to stop. Oh, they stopped it. This might get reviewed.
It's an automatic.
Yeah. Take a look and see if this ball crosses any part of the white stripe making up the goal line.
Pretty good collision.
Heck of a collision.
Timeout. Baylor. Their second of the half. 30 seconds in late. Please set the game clock to 6 seconds.
Now you be the judge. Did Robert Griffin break the plane?
Boy. He's,
oh, yeah.
He's across the plane. I mean, he ran right into Andrew Wilson. And he ran him over.
They'll go into the locker room all even.
Yeah, I don't see his knees down there. I see the ball crossing the plane. I mean, he's got his whole body in the end zone.
Further review.
Joe, he looked determined.
Even if he's down, it looked like the ball broke the plane. Watch the back end, his tailgate.
Yeah. Wilson just spun him in the air. He was fully determined right there to get in. I don't know. It looked like the ball crossed the goal line, whether his hip was down before it or not. A lot of different looks there. When he comes down.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah,
Ooh.
right. That's
very close. And is it enough to overturn it?
Well, that's always the question, right?
Because he bounced and was definitely in, as we saw it at the end of the play. But did the ball break the plane? You saw the ball clutched.
If this doesn't break the plane, and it's ruled as it is, a stop right there at the 6-inch line, and it's the story of this Baylor team, is their inability in the red zone to convert the amount of yards that they've had to points. It was their issue last week in a blowout loss to Oklahoma State.
The numbers are flashy, but if it doesn't result in touchdowns,
sure.
And right now, Baylor for the contest, they've got 20 first downs. They've got 301 yards on 49 snaps.
They're on pace for what they did last week. 622 yards of offense.
Opposite side, though.
Yeah.
They have given up defensively better than 600 yards to the opposition.
For the review, the ruling on the field stands. 4th down.
Wow. It has to be indisputable. Yeah. And that's it looked on the first 2, and then that last one where the ball was locked in. So they're going to go for it on 4th down. Griffin's back out there, and I'm not surprised after Aaron Jones missed the 27-yard field goal.
Well, they're going strength against strength. Those guys inside, Dominic Hamilton, Richardson, some of those guys that we have talked about. I mean, I don't know if there's 6 inches in between that defensive line there, but you got a 240-pound running back in Ganaway.
This is your definitive jumbo look. Does he waggle it out? Yeah. He's in, goes low, still no sign.
Jeez. Well, we can see it from up here.
It looked like he went low and got in.
I thought he went right behind the center, Philip Blake, on the play.
Touchdown banner.
There's Blake. Blake, he didn't even have his helmet on. His helmet got ripped off. That was a tough 6 inches. I mean, this is like the old electronic football, Joel. You know, the thing just vibrated right there. And you just put the ball, you know, the cotton football on the legs of Griffin, let him dive through it. And unsort all the bodies to see where the ball was, and they finally determined.
It'll be reviewed. That much we know. They're going to Gopher camp for this.
Well, the review's not going to show anything more than what they just saw and what we just saw. You're not going to see the ball or the man with the ball. He's going to be buried.
It was a 14-play, 80-yard drive.
Good football game. This is, you know, this just takes away from the excitement here. This should be in the locker room at halftime. I mean, that's a good push by the Baylor offensive line.
And do you see Griffin?
No.
Right.
You're not going to see him. From any angle, you're not going to see him. He disappears in the in the lug pileup. That's just a pile of lugs. You're not going to find him in there. They can look all day long.
And one final time from up top with action cam.
Well, watch the push here. I mean, it's just a great push inside. Robert Griffin, Blake. You know, well, we'll get to this here, but
it will not be overturned.
No.
So they should go to the locker room, tied at 14.
They got to kick the extra point.
Ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
That's a great first half by RG3, and I tell you, he's taken some hard hits, including, you know, the quarterback sneak for a touchdown. A lot of bodies falling on top of him.
Well, they took off almost all final 3:37 of the half. So Missouri, even if Jones gets it, and a break to be even, because Jones missed a 27-yard field goal. And this one is blocked. No good. Missouri has blocked the extra point. What is it about Baylor inside the 20?
Well, it's a lot of it is what Missouri is doing. And Coach Steck right there is like what his guys are doing up front.
The push and the penetration and the timing.
That was
Dominique Hamilton right up the gut, it looked like.
Yeah, look at Steck. Steck said that hair's gotten real gray in Steck trying to defend these Big 12 offenses. And he knows, but those guys inside.
Yeah, it was
Dominic Hamilton.
Yeah, between the center and the guard. When we talked to Dave Steck tackle this earlier this week, we asked him, what is he doing? He said, I'm not sleeping.
No.
I have nightmares watching Robert Griffin on film. Our Polaris, hardest working player, and especially on that last drive because he took some shots. Robert Griffin.
Well, he's taking hits all the game. I mean, that was early in the game. Slow to get up, taking a shot right to his back. He's delivered the ball. He's stayed in there, and he's taken a hit. This one right there, he's been planted on his back. You know, this shot right there at the goal line by Andrew Wilson, the quarterback sneak. He's going to have some welts and bruises on that body, but I have a feeling Robert Griffin will give it all up for a win here this evening.
Yeah, they're down by 1. So a tough one, and you can't blame it on the place kicker. The penetration by Hamilton at 6'5", 300 pounds. Aaron Jones, though, his body language tells you it's already been a tough night for him.
Oh, no doubt. He's going to be sore.
Keep it away from Kemp. And picked up by one of the reserves for Missouri as it was brought back by Matt Hoke, reserve defensive lineman. So Missouri goes to the locker room against one of the highest scoring teams in the nation, up by a point. Did a good job defensively overall, leading 14-13.
Well, I thought Baylor's defense was outstanding. They gave up 2 drives, but other than that, they forced them to punt. You know, I think they did a good job of containing him, and really, Baylor should have the lead right now. They shouldn't be down by a point. They've missed an extra point, field goals, and touchdown opportunities.
Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Joe. Coach, I tell you what, a wild first half. You guys capitalize on a couple missed field goals and then a block extra point right there coming into halftime. Your thoughts?
We also got a fumble on 1 yard line as they're going in. Just to these guys, you just got to get out of drives the best way you can. We got to score more points. We know the offense we're going against, the quarterback we're against. We're 14 points first half. That's not bad. We got to score more points.
All right, Coach. Thank you for the time. Halftime in Waco, Texas, and Baylor trailing Missouri 14-13. Next up, we head to the Coors Light studio and join Kevin Frazier and Marcus Allen for the Sprint halftime show. Right.
Baylor fans on campus celebrated homecoming, and it continued this morning with a homecoming parade featuring the 1980 and honoring the 1980 Southwest Conference Championship football team of the Baylor Bears. They were also honored earlier tonight here at the stadium, and we are the lucky ones right now to be joined by their head coach and a legend in college football, and there he is on the sideline. And boy, did he come up with some wins for the Baylor Bears in the old Southwest Conference Grand Tap. First of all, congratulations on the honor. Great memories for you, 1980, and an undefeated team in Southwest Conference play.
Yeah, they actually won the conference by 3 games, which was unheard of in those days because it was always very close, very tight down to the end. But this was an extraordinary team that found their foundation in '78 when they had a lot of injuries and a lot of bad things. And in '79, they got to the Peach Bowl after having one of their players devastatedly injured.
Right.
And so that foundation was laid, and this group of guys took us to the so-called promised land.
Well, we look back on the first half. We're going to continue our conversation with Grand Tap, but 50 snaps in the first half for the Baylor Bears. Missouri got the first score, though.
Yeah, Josie, punched it in on a great drive on that play right there, and then Baylor would answer it with the Terrence Williams touchdown over the middle from RG3. And then Josie, again, the second touchdown run, tougher this time inside the tackles. RG3 would answer it with a touchdown of his own, but Baylor having trouble with field goals, an extra point, it gets shanked. And so right now, Missouri with the 1-point halftime lead. You're going to see here that, once again, Baylor with 50 snaps, 300 yards of offense, but only 13 points to show for it. Missouri, 2 really well-executed drives, but Baylor controlling the time of possession right here, the yards, and the number of plays.
And the quarterback matchup, well, Robert Griffin got it going, especially in the second quarter. And through the rushes that continued and kept drives alive for the Baylor Bears, especially to that last one. So he had 56 yards on the ground, 16 of 25. Throwing the football is not where he normally is. So give Missouri some credit as well. But also, Robert Griffin fumbled the ball at the 2-yard line. Otherwise, it could be a Baylor lead at halftime. We continue with Grand Tap, and I said 50 snaps because I wanted to emphasize it because it's crazy. 104 snaps for Baylor last week. Did we ever think we'd see it?
Well, it's so extraordinary. Now they're getting in so many snaps, playing so fast. We used to try to feel like that if we could get 80, 82 snaps, we could win any football game.
Baylor will have the ball to start the second half. Into the wind, it's going to be Darius Jones coming up to take it at the 20. And he's going down across the 25 near the 27-yard line. So Baylor has it. They got the final points of the first half, as you can see on the possession chart. But that touchdown after the long 80-yard drive marred by the blocked extra point. Well, that's the difference in the game.
The fumble was at the goal line by RG3 going in to score, and then the missed field goal along with the missed extra point. We said at the outset, Baylor needed to get points for their production. 300 yards of offense, you want to have more than 13 points.
He's got Ganaway in the backfield. We've got Grant Tapp with us up in the booth, and a good run on first down, close to 10. He loses and keeps spinning. And now a flag at the end of the play. And in our matchup, Coffey led him defensively. Terrence Williams, though, by far their tallest wide receiver with a solid first half. And Coach, when we watched Ganaway, you had a nice running back yourself, Walter Abercrombie.
Yeah, we did. We had a lot of good running backs. We were a balanced type offense.
Personal foul, number 78 offense. After the first down, it'll be a 15-yard penalty, first down.
That was a dead ball foul on Robert T. Griffin. But back to Abercrombie. Yeah, and you did have balance.
Yeah, we did have balance. We won with balance. And, it all depends on your philosophy. One of the things that we were always adamant about was third, fourth, and short, and inside the red zone. That's really key.
Well, I think that's a deficiency right now in a lot of these spread offenses that you see, Grant. You know, they can punch it, they can drive it between the 20s, the 10s, but when it comes to crunch time, they have a hard time.
Tevin Reese down the sideline. Will he go the distance? No. Matt White over there along with Jackson. Gaines took the inside route. Didn't push him back. It's 52 yards on the reverse for Tevin Reese.
Well, Reese is going to take this handoff right here from RG3 underneath. And you can see this is a track team at wide receiver for Baylor. They all have elite speed. And very smooth right there by Tevin Reese. I don't like to see him stay in bounds before he gets, he just went out on his own right there.
Dead ball foul. Overall speed of the game as we watch a guy who...
Number 2, offense.
That's on Terrence Williams. But as we watch Tevin Reese, rather, who runs for the Baylor track team in the spring, big difference in speed now.
Speed is the real key, and particularly in the fast offenses that you have. Get to the line of scrimmage, get no huddle, get the ball in play, and get in more snaps. The reason you're getting a lot more snaps is that they're doing it in such a quicker time.
Right. The tempo of the game has certainly changed.
I mean, look, the receivers don't even huddle up. Right, Grant? They just line up and they're ready to play.
It'll be after the false start on Williams, 1st and 15. Griffin wants to throw it, but here comes he, and he throws it away. Now, he was not outside of the tackle box, so the linesman will come in with Greg Burks, the Big 12 official. And was there somebody in the neighborhood?
Well, this is just a clear attempt to get rid of the football, but no flag has been dropped for intentional grounding. But it did look like he was within the tackle box.
Was there a receiver?
Intentional grounding.
There it is.
Number 10, offense. Penalty being enforced from the spot of the foul. Loss of down. 2nd down.
Sheldon Richardson making his presence felt again.
Boy, he has really affected this game. Inside, he beats Robert Griffin, the right guard on that play. Force that ball out of Griffin's hands. All Griffin could do was just fight to get rid of it. But Richardson really making an impact in this game inside, where I thought physically Missouri was a little bigger, a little stronger.
So now it's going to be 2nd and 26. Feed up the middle underneath Tevin Reese. Get some of it back inside the 30, down to the 28. You brought up the winning the Southwest Conference by 3 games, other things from that 80 team, because obviously you had a lot of flashbacks tonight with a lot of guys here. Your memories.
And we did last night as well, and it was really special to get them all together. And one of the things that I pointed out to the crowd, I'm going to let you go ahead and call this.
It's 3rd and 14. He's been in the booth before, by the way.
Yes.
Now Griffin pocket holding up, and Richardson held up into the end zone. Touchdown, Terrence Williams. They wanted a holding call. Sheldon Richardson was spinning. They didn't get it.
And I think Terrence Williams is going to be hurt, as a flag was thrown for unnecessary roughness right there, and I think his head got whiplashed into the boards on the side.
That's a very short area down there.
Yeah.
Touchdown. Personal foul. Number 17, defense. 15-yard penalty being forced on the kickoff.
Matt White, the safety. Now, the play by Griffin and getting outside.
Now, this is what Griffin specializes in right now. He feels the pressure from Richardson. He gets away from him. Now, his ability to throw the ball accurately on the run is what separates him from a lot of option and good quarterbacks in this league. Grant can't throw it a lot better than that on the run.
He's outstanding, to tell you the truth. He's got great feet, got poise, very intelligent youngster, great leader, got everything you want.
And Williams fortunately back up, appears to be okay. Easy for us to say from up here. So with the time on the field, come right back for the extra point. Grant, thank you for taking the time to join us.
Great to be with you. You guys do a super job.
Jim Knox, what's going on downstairs?
All right, Terrence Williams is okay. He came to the bench other than a headache. He shook his head. He's okay, so it looks like he's going back in. Guys, they may go for 2 on this play. We'll see.
After Jones was blocked on the extra point right before halftime.
They should go for 2 here. I mean, you lost the extra point at the end of the first half. Ball got shanked. I think you go back there, try to make this a 7-point game right now.
And it will be Robert Griffin of the offense back out there. So he spreads him out.
Yeah.
He's got 5. And he brings Woodley in. Salubi, in fact, is all the way outside up top. And the trips on the bottom.
Robert Griffin is looking at 5 one-on-ones across the field and 6 guys in the box. So can somebody win the one-on-one that he can throw it to, or will he try to outrun to bring Salubi into the backfield?
And it's going to be Griffin. He's in. Gets the 2-point conversion.
He is determined. That's the second time that we've seen him take it in the end zone. One for a touchdown and one for a 2-point conversion. And when he puts that toe in the ground to go north-south, he's looking to score. Great effort by RG3. Well, that's a sprint to the end zone.
Baylor has their first lead of the game by 7. Failed on 4th and 4. The pressure came from Coffey.
That scheme, Joel. That scheme of Phil Bennett right there, and you could see the enthusiasm of these Bears right now. Because they're going to bring a little bit of pressure on this play, and here he comes. Free right to Franklin. Forcing Franklin to get that ball out of his hands a little quicker. Dialing up the pressure. Forcing Franklin to get the ball out of his hands quicker. Great stop on 4th down by the Bears.
And he might have been locked in a little bit too much, because if you watch the man down the seam, T.J. Moe, he's wide open.
Yeah, well, young quarterbacks,
right.
And he's a young quarterback, Joel. They can do that.
From the 33, there's the bubble. Kendall Wright forced out of bounds at the 40. Gain of 7. That has worked for them all night long.
Well, I think the key is the accuracy, the uncanny accuracy of RG3, whether it's just the short little slip screens or the deep throws.
Now Griffin up, yeah, he's going for the bundle. Wide open is Tevin Reese, and he overthrows him. Well, he's downwind. Ball definitely sailed.
And I asked him before the game about that. Is it harder to throw into the wind or at its back? He goes, I got to put a little bit more air on it when the wind is at my back. And I think he lowered his trajectory just a little bit. I think he wanted to float this a little bit more. You can see the speed of Reese getting right behind the secondary.
So now 3rd and 3 from the 40. Does he do it himself? Yes. Robert Griffin just across the 43-yard line, using Salubi as a decoy.
Yeah, but this guy has great will, Joel. Great will and competitive fire. You know, Baylor hasn't played at home here in a month. They had a bye week. They went on the road to Oklahoma State, to A&M, and they're back here at homecoming, and they just wanted to get back here and play in front of their home crowd, where crowd noise wouldn't have to be an issue every play.
And a false start. Left side came up and looked a little early.
False start, 79 offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Called it on Griffin, the right guard.
Yeah. I hate to circle the right guard, Robert Griffin, here, because the linemen only get mentioned, unless I'm doing a game, when they get penalties. But Griffin, who's played real well up front, and that's the load that he's got in front of him there, handling him pretty good.
So they list him at 330. What does that mean? He's 350 or 360?
It depends, how much barbecue you had. You know, do you go to health camp or not, Joel?
Health camp. Oh, landmark here. Then on the running play, Salubi going the wrong way. Madison got the penetration, and he did a good job making a loss of about 8 or 9 instead of 15.
That's critical. The penetration kills the run game, and that's really the first time that Missouri have really busted through. That's Kenji Jackson finishing it off.
Yeah, Brad Madison, though, once before got the penetration to get Griffin out of the pocket. So he disrupted that play as well.
You don't have to. RG3 does not have to get this all back on this play. What you're looking to do here, Joel, is to get about half back. Make it a more makeable 3rd down opportunity.
And he runs like a halfback. So he's in the gun with Ganaway on 2nd and 21. Only a 3-man rush. And it's in and out of the hands of Lanier Sampson. They have not looked in his direction at all tonight. And he dropped that one trying to run before he had it. The junior from Mesquite, Texas.
Well, that was the half of it right there. That was half of this long yardage situation. And, you know, there's no reason to jump there. I mean, when receivers jump, they lose their concentration. Now, that's really the fundamental there. Just catch the ball. When you jump, you lose. Your hands get tighter.
Hamilton almost lurching into the neutral zone. Now Griffin ready to go.
Now Missouri playing too deep, man under.
And a twist up front over the middle. Kendall Wright. And it's at the midfield stripe, short of the first down by about 4. Art Briles is a gambler, but well, I don't know, up by 7.
He's gambling. Kendall Wright got a big chunk back, making it a real makeable. Here he is right in the middle, just running right to the void. That's what you call a Tampa 2 coverage. Middle linebacker goes to the deep middle, and he just went right to the void.
Missouri at least at this point showing a 4-man rush. And is it a possible quick kick by Griffin?
Nice call, Joel.
Yep.
Very nice.
Over the sideline. It'll go out of bounds inside the Missouri 20. Time now for Academy Sports and Outdoors game break with Kevin Frazier and Mark Russell. Guys.
Well, let's head to the Rose Bowl. And how about the UCLA Bruins taking on Arizona State? Kevin Fritz, the pump. Nelson Rosario wide open. UCLA guys can be tied for the lead in the Pac-12 South if they can win this game. Unbelievable. 23-14 in the third quarter.
You're right,
yeah.
Kevin. Unbelievable.
Yes.
Trying to figure those guys out.
We've
Franklin
seen him twice.
on the option with Josie. And Josie, little indecision, cost him. He still gets 5-6 yards up to the 24.
Joel, that wasn't indecision. That's shake and bake right there. Yeah.
Then I bake out, not in. He dipped in, came back out.
Yeah, he did. He's tough.
And, yeah, but did he take a shot? Because looks like that left hand, he's holding it.
I think he wanted out, but they don't have time because of how quickly they run.
It'll be 2nd and 4. Second possession for the second half for Missouri. They failed on 4th down in the first one. And Franklin put down, big time play off the edge. And that is Tevin Elliott, who's back in the lineup. And he's been nicked up. He's had a hand injury. And he gives them a guy that can make plays off the edge.
Well, you're going to see. I mean, he is their best defensive end. Down here at the bottom, beats the double team, splits it, and then brings Franklin down. When he's out there, you need one good pass rusher on defense. I don't care where you're at, what level you're playing. He gives them that speed off the edge. Plus, you can see how he plays the run.
He was honorable mention all Big 12 last year as a redshirt freshman. The noise factor on 3rd and 8. Moving the pocket. It's Agnew, and off his fingertips. Mistimed his jump ever so slightly against the safety, Hicks.
Another great effort by the Bear defense. Be able to knock Missouri out. You can see Franklin's hobbling. But Hicks really does a great job of playing this right here. Really, Agnew, I thought, misjudged that ball.
He was on his way down.
Huge height advantage over Hicks, about 6-7 inches taller.
Ball came in. He was on his way down. Now Barrow into the wind, trying to one-iron, keeping it low, and a good roll for Missouri. But still, solid field position at the 38. So Baylor will have their best field position to start a drive so far tonight on this, their 8th series. Well, this college football season, Fox Sports is proud to support the Dream Foundation. We're making dreams come true for adults facing a life-threatening illness. There's no greater time to help those in need when time is limited. Text DREAM to 41518. Donate $10. Turn dreams into lasting memories. Well, Missouri now has had it, and Gary Pingle said they had to score. Missouri's had it 7 times with 2 possessions finding the end zone. Not enough, the percentages. Because Griffin's going to get you. Right on the pick. Yep, on the block. And the ball's thrown behind the line. So that receiver, Lanier Sampson, legal on his block up to the 49 for a first down.
Well, you just need to give Kendall just a little bit of a sliver of space there. And Lanier Sampson did that on the outside. Excellent timed block right there, Sampson. And listen, if you're not catching the ball in his offense, you better be blocking somebody.
Interesting formation this time. A ton of time. Wide open. Kendall Wright. First down, Baylor inside the Missouri 30. Too much time for a quarterback that good.
Well, and he's going to come here and into this second window right here. That takes time. That's protection by that offensive line to do it.
He comes back at Sampson on the bubble, and nothing there.
Yeah, they went to it one too many times.
Short side of the field, there was a lot of congestion. Matt White was over there.
Yeah, they read it right away. What you want to do is fake off that, Joel, is just fake that quick little slip screen and then have somebody going deep on it. If they're going to bite that hard on the play, have somebody going deep off it. That'd be the counter to it.
Even with that, Robert Griffin has already thrown for better than 300 yards. And we still have 3.5 to play here in the third. Reese joining him in the backfield. It's Griffin. And it's loose. They got it, though. Held on at the 34.
He ran right into Sheldon Richardson, and we've called his number a lot in there tonight.
He's a load.
They're tough inside. Blake's got a block, and he thinks he's got a crease there, and there comes Richardson, just closing, and his ball's out.
Good job of the offensive lineman. They came up with it. Ivory Wade.
Ivory Wade, the right tackle. Key
now,
play.
A little wide on the snap. Third down. Griffin in trouble again. Escapes. No. Dragged down by Dominique Hamilton. And that's not an easy task.
Yeah, but that Hamilton leads the Big 12 for defensive linemen and tackles. He's active. Richardson and Hamilton. And a little twist stunt inside. They're going to keep. They're doing exactly what they want to do. They want to keep RG3 right in that pocket and have it collapse on him the way Hamilton did.
Now fourth down at the 37. Even though they're downwind, not thinking about a 54, 55-yard field goal try, at least at this point.
No, I wouldn't have any problem punting this ball away.
And they're going to use a timeout. Their first of the second half with 2:18 to play in the third. Indecision, and will it cost them using one of their second half timeouts? Well, an announcement made, and a very good one if you're a Baylor Bear fan, and everybody in the Big 12, because Baylor is the only school in the Big 12 right now that does not have an on-campus stadium. But that is in the works. And here's the proposed plans for a new stadium here, right along the Brazos River on University Park, right across from campus. It would sit just east of Interstate 35, and everybody in the Southwest knows about 35 is one of the most traveled roads now in America.
Well,
you're 90 miles from Austin, 90 miles from Dallas. It would be a perfect situation. And Art Briles now in his fourth year, they've got a good thing going.
Yes,
a very entertaining product with a great offensive mind in Art Briles.
You know, in Art Briles, I mean, right on the Brazos River. I mean, he'd be proud of that. That'd be his signature. I guess Halloween is still in effect here. But, you know, Art Briles came up through the high school ranks, had a great run at Stephenville High School where he coached Kevin Cobb, now the quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals. Championships there, went through Texas Tech, worked his way up to really an innovative head coach here at Baylor.
It is going to be a 54-yard attempt from Jones, and it is wide right, like his 27-yard attempt. And it appeared that he had enough on it. So it's pushed off to the right. He is 0 for 2 tonight.
Now they had the wind behind him. That Richardson is having a heck of a game. And Coach Steck there, got to be happy about that performance there, all the way up to the missed field goal.
Well, tomorrow, Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader at All Starts regional play. Seahawks and Cowboys earlier, then America's Game of the Week. Giants taking on Tom Brady and the Patriots. Our coverage begins with Built Ford Tough Fox NFL Sunday pregame show. Noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. You see the lineup. Check for the game in your area as Lawrence is pumped out of bounds. A good gain, though, for Missouri on first down, and a first down across the 47 to the 48.
Now, they got two good backs. You know, Kendall Lawrence has certainly shown that he can carry the football when Josie isn't in there.
Well, Missouri has to start capitalizing on the good field position they've had. From the 37, that one. Now Agnew on their own bubble. And the big tight end put the ball on the ground. It's loose. And Baylor says they had it at the 49. Do they? Yes.
I think it was the hit by Elliott Coffey that knocked the ball loose as well.
Coffey made him cough it up.
Yeah.
And it's recovered there by Ahmad Dixon.
Elliott Coffey's father, Ken Coffey, a former Redskin, came in from his middle linebacker spot. He's the quarterback of the defense. There's Coffey stripping it loose there from the inside out.
Yeah, Hicks helped him on the bottom.
Yeah, and look at the hustle there. Hustle coming in from the outside to recover it. First big turnover there of the evening.
And the real difference right now, when Baylor runs the bubble, they run it with a track star.
Yeah.
Missouri's been running the bubble at least recently with a tight end.
Yeah, that's not as quick and doesn't have the burst that some of those track guys have.
Now Griffin looking over to the near side. Tevin Reese is available. Lanier Sampson brought attention to the sideline, and just sitting down in that pocket was Tevin Reese.
Well, I tell you, what a throw by RG3, though. Because you're right, that's what Tevin Reese did. He just ran through the soft spot in the zone, and look at his throw. I mean, as effortless, as smooth a release as you can have.
It's at the Missouri 38. Ganaway angling back inside, breaking tackles into the secondary. The butt of the running back may go the distance. He does. Touchdown Baylor.
Well, it started with the read by RG3 to give him the ball, but that was a whole lot of 240 pounds of Terrence Ganaway making people miss, showing you the light feet on a big body. They call him a slasher, and he slashed the difference for that touchdown run.
The extra point by Jones. And now a 2-touchdown lead on homecoming weekend for the Baylor Bears.
Yeah, man.
I like the look.
Yeah. I tell you.
Whataburger, what a play. We've said he's at about 250 pounds. Just get out of his way, Terrence Ganaway.
Well, you're going to see you're going to get a little block here from the tight end, but he's really just going to clear this out himself. He's got a good cut there. Makes it, runs right through the middle linebacker on that play, Andrew Wilson. Now he bounces it. And that's the vision. Now the vision, and now the legs get going in the breakaway speed to finish the run. Bounces off two players there. Now, here's the cut. Nice little cut. No socks on, like nice little sockless look there by Ganaway.
Warm night.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's our Whataburger, what a play, and it could turn out to be what a night for Terrence Ganaway. A lot of time left, but Baylor's got the momentum.
I saw Ganaway yesterday in the walkthrough. He had his glasses on. He looked very erudite. You know, he's a graduate student. He's finished his school. He looked like an intelligent guy, but a mammoth body. I called him a truck, that truck-sized body, Mack truck-sized body, to his offensive coordinator the other day, and he had to agree.
Back deep from Missouri, it is T.J. Moe waiting for the kickoff from Parks. Man, we talked about the wind. It's off the tee. It's downwind right now. So Missouri is going to have the wind at their back for the fourth, and do they ever need it?
We're going to find a whole lot about James Franklin here. The rest of this third quarter into the fourth quarter.
Going to work this time. And an opportunity for T.J. Moe. He's got to land over to the right side, into the 30, and across the 40 again. Great field position for Missouri.
Wow, it's a great return here by T.J. Moe, right back at the goal line. He's got a two-man wedge in front of him. But you can see that ball high and tight. All young players. He's running through the open field there, but he's got it well protected. Got that ball up there, cradled, and 5 points of pressure. Fundamentally sound player.
So Missouri just gives up 7 off a turnover. The fumble by Agnew. Lawrence. Franklin calls his own number. And a good run on first down of about 7 up to the 49. It was a 40-yard return, by the way, by Moe. But as I mentioned, Missouri's last drive started at their own 37.
Well, you know, last week, Joel, they were down 28-17 in the second half to A&M on the road, and they came back with a furious comeback.
Lawrence with a flag from the umpire, where it's normally a holding call, gets the first down across the 48 down to the 47.
We haven't seen many of those tonight, if any.
So you're saying we were due for one? Overdue.
I never believe that stuff, Joel. They say you could call holding on any play. I don't believe it.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Number 76 defense. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Call it on Nick Johnson, a junior from right here in Waco. And Missouri gets a break. Personal foul all the way down to the 32.
That wasn't in Phil Bennett's plan tonight. The hands to the face giving the Tigers an automatic first down.
So deep in Baylor territory. Can they capitalize on the opportunity with Josie in the backfield this time? It'll be Franklin again. A little crease closed in a hurry. A gain of about 5. You talked about the comeback. That was the largest second half comeback. The second largest actually in Missouri history. You got to go back to 1949 and a 14-point deficit in the second half against Nebraska.
Joel, you did your research.
I mean, it stands out when you come back on the road, and that was their biggest conference road victory to come back from since '97. Josie in the flat, first down Missouri inside the 20. Knocked out of bounds on the final snap of the third. So Missouri is driving once again, but can they take advantage of the great return and the setup by TJ Moe on special teams? So they'll turn around. Missouri will have the win at their back for the final 15 minutes of regulation. And do they have more thrills for us like we saw last week at A&M on the road to the Tigers? You're watching Big 12 College Football Saturday presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Celebrating as Robert Griffin III has picked it up offensively. Missouri helped them with a giveaway.
Yeah, and here's a comparison so far. I mean, you know, our RG3 came in completing 75% of his passes this year. He's about 66% tonight, but 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran for 64 yards. Baylor with over 500 yards of offense in the first 3 quarters.
They've got 67 snaps for 508 yards.
Wow.
And 28 points. So normally you'd think more on the board, but Griffin also fumbled it away into the end zone of the first down. Covered by Webb. So Missouri got a break as well. Now Franklin, first snap of the fourth. On the option, Josie. Cut down. And coming out of the secondary, that was Chadwick.
That's the way.
The weak side backer.
That's how you come and you blow up the option right there.
Give it to Hall, actually.
Well, you know, you give it everything you've got. And if you miss, you make him go inside on you. But he got a shoestring on it. He came aggressively, and that was a great stop from the secondary.
Well, that graphic may tell you that Missouri has been behind a lot this year to be third in the nation in scoring into the fourth quarter.
Now, they're going to need points in this fourth quarter. Down 14 here.
Now on second at about 11. Ton of time, middle of the field. Jump ball, overshoots Washington. Boy, great coverage for Baylor. Hicks was there, as well as Ahmad Dixon.
Yeah. K.J. Morton on the coverage as well. Nice play. Nice play by Morton.
Trying to read his number.
Just a sophomore. It's tough, Joe. It's fast.
Those
here.
dregs.
It moves fast.
Those dregs are halfway down his back. Don't we all wish we had those problems? From the 19, 3rd and 11.
This Baylor crowd has done their job here on 3rd downs throughout the evening.
Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. Franklin in trouble. And out of the edge, it's Agnew. Now, you're down by 14. You're on the road, and you're looking at 4th and about a little more than 4 at the 12. The pressure came from Mason.
Personally, Joe, I think there's a lot of time to play. I mean, I wouldn't have any problem kicking the field goal right now. You got to stop them on defense. I think this is the right decision by Pinkel right here.
It's early in the 4th, opening minute of the 4th. But Missouri at the same time has to take the ball away. They've got to create.
They got to play better defense, Joel, but you can't take away this opportunity for points right now.
It'll be a 30-yard attempt from Barrow, his first of the night. Man, justifies the decision by Gary Pinkel. So, like last week, Missouri down 28-17 in the 4th. Create opportunities. Time now for an Academy Sports and Outdoors game break. Let's go to Kevin Frazier and Mark Patel. Guys.
Steve Sarkisian and Chip Kelly discussing things. Oregon and Washington on the way. Remember, the Huskies with just one conference loss can shake things up in the Pac-12 North if they can upset the Ducks. That's coming up at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. Guys.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Look forward to that one. Good matchup at Seattle.
And, of course, next week it's Oregon visiting Stanford. Both teams could be undefeated in the Pac-12.
Unless the Huskies are the spoilers.
Yes.
Tough place to play. Been there a lot, Husky Stadium. Now, from the 20. It'll be Griffin. And he paid for that carry. Richardson was there. A couple of other Tigers. Sheldon Richardson showing up on film again. He got 2 after the 22.
Well, between Jacquez Smith and Richardson, they've got 2 real dominant performances from their front here tonight. I've been impressed by the toughness of RG3 throughout this game.
2nd and 8. Double move available to Reese, and he drops the football. Trying to make his move to the inside, and he had so much field in between the seams.
And he adjusted so well to the ball in the air. He really made the cut, jumped in front of the defender to take it, and I think before he put his foot down there, Joel, I think he was already making the move.
There's a reason Robert Griffin has hit 82% of his passes at home this year, because they don't drop those.
Yeah. He's got a dependable crew.
Now 3rd and 8. Key for Missouri, trailing by 11. Blitz off the edge by Lambert, and almost intercepted. Almost picked off. Boy, did Mizzou need it. Kenji Jackson had it go in and out of his hands after it was tipped by Kendall Wright. And he's still not 100%.
Well, no, he isn't. But he's hobbled. But he's going to run right here to the first down marker. Ball thrown a little bit thrown behind him in large part because Robert Griffin takes another shot right to the ribs. He's taken a bunch of those tonight.
Back deep, it's going to be Gaines, the cornerback. This is a key punt into the wind for Spencer Roth. He had an 8-yard punt in the first half, and that was downwind. They don't punt a lot around here. Only 14 times over the first 7 games. Much better. Low, wobbler, and a fair catch by Gaines. So Missouri is going to have good field position again at about their own 37-38 when we come back.
El factor X ya está en Mundo Fox.
Don't miss Chino, Nacho, Angelica Maria, and the princess of Latin pop, Belinda, in the search for the next young Latino music star. El Factor X. Next week on Mundo Fox.
With 9:58 left in the contest, Baylor gets the ball back, and the Bears homecoming night up by 11. Our Toyo Tires presents Driven to Perform. It's got to be Kendall Wright playing hurt.
Yeah.
And that happened early in the game and staying out there.
Yeah, but, you know, he's gotten it retaped a couple of times, but Kendall Wright is his go-to guy for RG3, and he's dependable, and he's dangerous after the catch. About the only thing he hasn't done so far tonight is get the ball in the end zone. Came into tonight with 260 career receptions here at Baylor.
All-time leader in receptions for the Bears, receiving yards, touchdown catches with 25. And he's caught at least one, and including tonight, in 45 consecutive games. That's the third longest of the nation.
That's impressive. It's impressive because it tells you that the guy lines up to play every weekend.
Now on first down, it's Griffin. And he breaks out of the tackle in the backfield, but then is pounced on by Matt White. Now back to Missouri. Only 4 carries in the second half for Henry Josie after 11 of the first half. Have they gotten away from their bread and butter?
I think they have, Joel. He's the Big 12 leading rusher. And, of course, that's a kid that's had a great night here this evening, Sheldon Richardson. Had 8 tackles at A&M last week. You know, really coming on as the season's progressed. But I do think Missouri's gotten away from Josie. I mean, that's a guy that can break one at any time. And if he's not getting the touches right now, that offense doesn't move the same.
Josie had 11 carries for 111 yards in the first half. He's had 4 carries for just 21 yards in the second half. Baylor's got the ball, just playing keep away. 9 minutes and counting left in the contest. On 2nd and 8, Griffin. No pressure on the comeback route. It's Lanier Sampson holding on. Where do they mark it? A yard shy of the first down at the 27. Gaines on the coverage. And they've got a good one in E.J. Gaines, a sophomore from Independence, Missouri.
This guy's got 4.3 40 speed. I mean, if you're the corner, you've got to respect that breakaway speed of his. And so he comes back, and we'll see if Richardson, how quickly he can come back.
Ganaway only needed a yard. He's got it more than enough. Up to the 32.
Time, Joel, to give a little props to that offensive line of Baylor up front. Because, you know, Jack Miners went in there at left guard today. Palmgren moved over to center.
It's Griffin going for the icing on the cake. It's Reese. Bobbling, it's got it every step of the way. Touchdown, Baylor.
There's a lot of different ways to enjoy that kind of a throw. Griffin decided just to take a seat and enjoy it. Really capped off a tremendous evening by RG3. Tell you, this guy flat out can fly. Tevin Reese here has showed his breakaway speed, kind of bobbling the ball along the way. And RG3's going to just take a seat. He's exhausted. He's been hit, battered, bruised, scored some touchdowns, thrown for 3 tonight. He's living up to all of his hype.
Aaron Jones for the point after. 8:22 to play. And Baylor trying to put away Missouri. Up by 18 now. So a quick 82-yard drive at 35-17.
Fly route. Gets behind the secondary here, bobbled it a few times, but 68 yards later, takes it to pay dirt. And it has been an exciting second half for the Bears offensively.
Well, it'll be 5 games at home and 5 wins for the Baylor Bears on their home field. And 1 away from bowl eligibility once again for Art Briles. At 4:06, 4:30 is the record. He already said that.
Yeah. He's at 4:06 right now, and the numbers are staggering, but watching him in person is even more impressive because he doesn't shy away from contact. He stays in the pocket and takes a shot right to the ribs, delivers the ball. His eyes are in the right place, and a fierce competitor.
It'll be Parks kicking it away into the wind. Man, TJ Moe. Check that. It'll be picked up once again by the other man back there. And that is Jimmy Hunt. Well, our friends at the AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic would like to pay tribute to a significant day in college football history when nearly 100 spectators gathered around a field in New Brunswick, New Jersey. November 6th, 1869. First college football game. They witnessed it. Rutgers defeating Princeton 6-4. We celebrate the 8th annual National College Football Day as it's hauled in for his short game across the 35 up to the 38 and taken in there by Agnew. Playing catch up. See if you can find one of your wideouts. Again, Agnew, and a first down out of bounds at about the 48.
Baylor will give this to them all night long. Just the short routes, you know, let them, you know, get their first downs and kind of make them bleed slowly, you know, to use a metaphor.
Yeah, there was so much discussion that Agnew had 90 catches and only 30 coming into the game tonight.
Yeah.
I think it got to basically the group. They were going to get Agnew involved. He got involved last week. There's no question. It's a good grab by T.J. Moe. Taking it out of bounds at the 46.
You saw RG3 probably talking to his offensive coordinator upstairs on the phone, and tell you, you know, I came in here and I couldn't wait to watch him play. I'd heard all the hype and had a chance to meet him at Big 12 Media Day, talked to him yesterday for a little bit in a walkthrough, and before the game, he's excited.
Single on the outside and a great spin on the catch by Jarrell Jackson. Yeah. As he gets additional yardage after the catch down to the 24. But we said those are the guys that can make plays for you and make them miss in the secondary.
Well, that's who you want to get it to. Now, KJ Morton, one of the just, you know, had it turned the wrong way that time, but Morton in that secondary has played extremely well tonight. Tackled well. They've defended the ball in the air real well tonight.
And now coming back on it, Lucas.
I jinxed him.
Does he come down? Yes. Touchdown, Missouri. And what a read by the wide receiver. Is it too late, though, for the Tigers with 7:05 to play?
Well, you know, that's the matchup that is just natural, and it's been out there all night. 6'5" Lucas caught the winner against in overtime against A&M last week. Straight fly route against Morton, and you can see Morton's head isn't turned around. And Franklin threw a nice high ball for Lucas to adjust to. Great concentration by Lucas.
Well, as we mentioned, Agnew's got 9 catches tonight. Nobody on Missouri has more than 3. But Agnew has 9. Now, they will go for the 2-point conversion, trailing by 12.
Try to cut this lead to 10.
And a manageable two-score game. Can they make the play? Lawrence in motion. And it's going to be Lawrence. He's in. It's a 10-point ball game. Never know. 7:05 to play. So Marcus Lucas came through last week, the sophomore from Liberty, Missouri, and made a great read despite the defensive back right in his grill.
But Joel, there's still a lot of time. I mean, 7 minutes in this game with these teams that can score as quickly in 1:13 on that drive. It puts a lot of pressure. It keeps the pressure on Baylor's offense here.
So Missouri down by 10. They still have all 3 of their timeouts left. And they don't need to gamble early because of the timeout situation. And while we're watching Robert Griffin III, who's going to try to top his own single game record, he's thrown for 406. The other candidates, the guys that lead right now, you would have to think Luck, Richardson, Moore of Boise State, and the young man we're watching tonight, the junior from Copperas Cove.
Last time I looked up at the game of the century tonight, Joel, was 3-3 in Tuscaloosa. I'll take this.
It's a different style.
It's a different style.
There's no question.
You put RG3 on the field, I'm getting a little bit more bang for my buck. That guy can entertain you. And I haven't seen a quarterback compete like that since Cam Newton last year at Auburn.
Barrow downwind, and there won't be a return. So it's up to the Missouri defense, and they need a 3 and out with a punt very quickly. Our BMW ultimate drive of the game, and it's basically the intestinal fortitude of that young man.
Well, he's a human highlight reel, let's face it. I mean, they said that this is the most exciting college football player since Mike Vick, and he does it in a variety of styles. Look at this deep ball. That's what everybody said about him is he's got a fantastic deep ball, and he's got all the charisma that goes with it.
Well, I mentioned to you, as Baylor will take over at their 20, you are seeing him for the first time live. Missouri showing Lambert on the outside, but the ball goes the other way and a big run into the secondary. Look out, get away, breaks it inside the 40. They will not catch him. Touchdown, Baylor.
That didn't take long. Ganaway for a breakaway. Great read by RG3, but Ganaway the second time of the night shows you big time finishing speed. I don't know how that gets done, but what a play by Ganaway. And they needed it from the senior.
And look at the numbers for a senior on homecoming night.
Yeah.
That means a lot. Something you will never, ever forget.
Yeah, you can never take that away, right?
Inside of 7 to play. So much for the comebacks. And it's back to a 17-point lead now. At 42 to 25. So they say that Saluti's the quick guy. Well, don't tell Ganaway that.
Well, you see, what a gash that was. Great job by Ivory Wade at right tackle by the tight end. One broken tackle, and I didn't know that Ganaway at 240 pounds had that kind of breakaway speed, Joel. Nice job by Wade sealing on the outside, and here's the lane. Okay, now he sees that. That's big. You break the tackle, and then just flat out run away from the secondary of Missouri.
Now they're putting up some serious numbers. And I'm talking 672 on 75 snaps. This is their 3rd consecutive game over 600 yards.
Wow. But,
it's like a video game.
It is. But so much of it is predicated upon them trying to stop RG3. The ability to make the right read, to hand it off correctly, to the deep throws from him, the punishing hits that he takes in order to make the big plays. He is the engineer of this offense. And it's as much fun as I've seen in college football.
Well, the Missouri offense is going to get back on the field quickly, aren't they?
Well, the key has been Baylor's defense tonight, holding this high-powered Missouri offense to just 25 points so far.
It'll be Mo. Yeah, with a flag down, it's coming back. As Mo is pulled down across the 50 of the 45. 6:46 to play.
During the return, holding number 12 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
That's Roos for the defensive back.
Well, Missouri's going to have to think big play, and so really what you have to key on is the safeties of Baylor and how deep they are so that they don't allow anything to really get behind them. Actually pretty shallow considering they're within 10 yards here. And I'd take my shot right now if I was the Tigers.
It's only a 3-man rush. And the grab over on the far side by McGaffey. John McGaffey, junior from Houston.
There's Lucas, who caught the last touchdown pass. Big target at 6'5", and good speed to go with it.
Middle of the field, and Lucas hit as the ball arrived.
Oh,
late flag.
Real late.
Hall was there, the safety.
Sam Hall has played a lot back there at the free safety position. It was a pretty delayed flag. Hall just a 6'1" sophomore. A lot of football left in front of him.
It'll stop the clock with 6:27 to play. So we talked about the explosiveness of the two offenses, but it was Baylor's defense that made enough plays.
Interference. Defense. Number 25. 15. Spot foul. First down.
It's a spot foul, as he mentioned.
Yeah.
Does he get there and arrive a little early? Ooh.
A pretty good play.
Yes.
by Hall to me.
From the 41. Still a 3-man rush, ton of time. And the only one close was Joe Williams.
Well, that was an option route that time to Brandon Guerin on the or Kemp on the outside, and he just broke off the route. The receiver's reading one thing and the quarterback's throwing the other.
So the difference, you see the guy in the yellow shirt?
Yeah.
And Phil Bennett told us they needed it. They faced two offenses in A&M and Oklahoma State. And every time they tried to make a play, and I'm talking about as a staff, as Agnew gets his 10th grab up to the 49-yard line, it backfired. It just, if they decided to bring a guy off of one side, it went the other way.
But really, the smart move by Art Briles was to bring Phil Bennett here. You know, he was the interim head coach at Pitt last year. That whole change happened. He was available. They signed him in January. And he's been working with these kids. A lot of young kids getting a chance to play. None bigger than tonight.
Franklin turning the corner for the first down. And running into Elliott Coffey. Jim Knox.
Joel Robert Griffin just finally sat on the bench after congratulating his line at the end of the bench, as well as the defense before they went on the field. You know, guys, it's a styling Robert Griffin as well. You look, a lot of people wonder, what's he deal with the left arm, the sleeve going down the arm? Well, I asked him about that yesterday during walkthrough. He said, that's my styling left arm. That's where I show my style. The right arm is all business. He's all business tonight, no doubt.
It's to the 30. Yeah, he doesn't waste any time. Joe Williams on the coverage. And don't forget, Oregon on the road taking on the Huskies in Seattle. That is up next on Fox. Very good one in the Pac-12. Franklin again. Man was run out of bounds. Washington. And it's incomplete anyway.
Did a great job on the corner that time, forcing him out of bounds.
So now Missouri, you got to believe, down by 17 with 5 to play. They fall to 4-5. Still looking for consecutive wins this year, but the inexperience. You start a sophomore quarterback, and you mentioned the inconsistencies.
Yeah, he's getting a ton of experience, though. He's going to be a good one before it's all said and done. They've had a great run at quarterbacks at Missouri over the last decade.
Agnew, and that hurt from here. Hicks going low.
Jeez. That secondary has hit these guys now. Hicks, Morton, Chadwick, all these guys have taken their shots, especially on Agnew, because he's such a big target.
Baylor will go to 5-3. We're talking about a couple of the big games coming up for the Bears. And will it be a hold? No, as it's thrown wide and out of bounds. But looking ahead for the Bears, and this their 5th win, with 4:44 to play.
Well, they went bowling last year in the 3rd year under Art Briles.
Number 6 at Kansas.
Yeah, well,
you don't want to put it
favored
in the bank, but
no, it'll be favored.
Then Oklahoma, Texas Tech, and Texas. So you better take care of Kansas.
Yes. Yeah, you better,
with the last 3.
You better get to 6 there.
Franklin with time. And again, well wide. He tried to get it to Giroux. Ahead for the Tigers. They've got a home game coming up. We've been talking about Texas Tech. Next week, though, Texas in Austin, or at Columbia, actually. Then they get Texas Tech also in Columbia, and at Arrowhead in Kansas City, the traditional border war with the Jayhawks. It's Giroux, and he can't get away. Good play by Morton.
Yep. Made a lot of plays tonight. That's the key in this whole spread offense. Can you tackle the catch? And the Bears have done that for the most part tonight.
So don't forget, it was a 14-13 game at the break, and Missouri led by 1 at the half. But Baylor responded. So now 4th and 3 for the Tigers as we approach the 4-minute mark. Get the first down and get to TJ Moe. For TJ Moe, that is only his 3rd grab of the game. Touchdown, Missouri.
Nice job by TJ here, just knowing where he's at on the field. You know, stopping, making the cut inside the defender. They haven't missed many tackles, though. But they finish off the drive, and I would think, down right now, the way they are, that they're going to have to go for the onside kick.
Barrow for the point after. So it is back to a 10-point game after the drive took 3 minutes off the clock. 11 plays, 80 yards. A sprint unlimited update, and basically it's Baylor taking over offensively in the second half.
Well, I mean, it's been really all Baylor. It was a touchdown throw to Williams. It was the run by Ganaway here, breaking a couple of tackles, showing some breakaway speed. I've seen that from Ganaway so far this season. You know, then RG3 just let one fly to Tevin Reese. 68 yards, little bobble, great finish, one play on that drive, and then this breakaway run again by Ganaway. 2 big runs by Ganaway, 2 touchdown throws by RG3, and tremendous second half by Baylor tonight.
Now does Trey Barrow have a high hopper in his bag?
Yeah.
So Ganaway surprising us all with a career night. There's no question about that. Griffin, nothing surprises us when it comes to Robert Griffin. We've been watching him since he came up with this team in 2008. Of course, 2009. Injured after the 3rd game of the year, missed the rest of the season. So the yardage in the second half, the scoring in the second half for Baylor with only 13 points in the first half.
That's just in the second half. They had 302 at halftime, 370 more so far in the second half.
All right, look for the high hop.
Yep.
Does Barrow get it? Yes, but it's hot, and it's picked up very quickly by Terrence Williams.
Well, he is
not a bad hands team.
No. Tell you, they've got some athletes there at wide receiver. And Terrence Williams has showed his skills tonight, throughout the night. 6'3". Going to get this, we're going to go after this ball right at its height here. Go up and get it and not allow Missouri to have any opportunity. Get right down and cover it up. Well coached, well executed.
Don't forget, we are headed to Seattle as soon as this one is over in Waco. Good Pac-12 matchup, and what a road test for the Oregon Ducks, taking on the Washington Huskies. College Football Saturday will continue on Fox in high definition. Don't go anywhere. And dropped, a rare drop by Kendall Wright. 2nd and 10. Stopping the clock with 3:51 to play.
You know, we've seen really RG3 throw from every platform tonight. He came in completing 75% of his passes on the year, but we've seen the deep throws, the throws across the middle, throws when they're tugging on his shirt, throws when they're planting him into the ground. This isn't just, you know, fantasy football here. This guy's got tremendous skill.
Griffin sliding down, avoiding another shot. He's taken a number. And I mentioned to you, because you hadn't seen him in person, I said, I'm not saying he's Michael Vick.
Yeah.
But he's the closest thing we've seen in college football since Michael Vick because of what he possesses, the skill to throw and run.
But he plays under control, and he's smart. Just getting down in bounds there, you know, where you can run the clock here. So he has, you know, he's a thinking man's quarterback, and he plays under control. He's not out of control. He doesn't rush things. The game has really slowed down for him. It's a different game in the NFL all the way around, but the skill level all the way around keeps getting better and better, and he's going to be a guy that's going to be heavily scrutinized down the road.
Well, he gave us one of the best games of the year, opening night of the college football season against TCU, 50-48. And as you look at the Big 12 standings, Oklahoma State, can they maintain the run they've been on? Oklahoma winning easily at home today over Texas A&M. But if you didn't hear, Ryan Broyles, torn ACL, unfortunately gone. That's a sad story.
That's a bad story because he's been such a great competitor.
Yes.
All-time leading receiver at Oklahoma. But Landry Jones still has a lot of weapons to throw to. And Oklahoma State still have, you know, a date set up down the road here that could very well decide this conference.
Now Missouri needs to figure out how to get 2 more wins. Don't forget, if it stays the same as it is on the board right now, here comes 3rd down. Get to that thought in a moment. 3rd and 8. Griffin, and he won't get the first down. Now Missouri needs to stop the clock again, and they will.
Wow, another play by Sheldon Richardson.
And when he left the field, he looked like he was dragging earlier.
Yeah. But, you know, Coach Steck told me about him. He said, look, this kid isn't, you know, he just got here in August. He was a JC transfer. But you can see a little sluggish getting off the field. But on the field, between the whistles, that guy has given an unbelievable effort.
Well, originally out of high school, he was going to go to Mizzou. Then he was going out to the West Coast.
Okay.
And he ended up at the College of Sequoias.
Yeah.
St. Louisans, everybody in the state of Missouri and in the Midwest have a pretty good idea of his talent. But would it all come together? Because it took a while to finally get to Columbia.
And that guy next to him, Hamilton, that is a good duo inside. Now RG3 has nullified them with a lot of tremendous plays tonight. both running it and then the options and the throws.
Gaines could make it very interesting as he waits for the punt. Spencer Roth will hit it at about his own 45. And he sends it down the middle. Gaines calling for the fair catch at the 12. So Missouri down to their final timeout. 3:33 to play. Need the quick score. The onside kick again.
They're getting them ready at an early age.
The bar tastes good.
Well, you know, at that age, you can chew on anything. That's it. Get them away from the bar. Smart, good parenting.
The lead in the paint doesn't work.
No, it's just not that appetizing. There's better substitutes.
Well, let's see if Missouri can come up with a big play. Franklin on the out. He's got it. It's Lucas again. Boy, good hands.
Good hands. He is a big receiver that's smooth, though. Fell right into that hole between the safety and the corner. Kind of a dead spot in the defense. And Franklin dropped it right in.
Thrown for 251. Missouri's had only one turnover. Yeah. And that was the ball put on the ground by Agnew. It turned into 7 points, though. And that's huge in this game. Comeback route. And it's complete to Giroux. And he's got the first down. That'll stop the clock momentarily across the 46.
Franklin's he's going to have a bright future, I think, though. Well, he's young and this is his 9th start, but he can make a lot of throws now. Keep a lot of plays alive.
Underneath Agnew. That wasn't worth the catch. They needed the clock stopped. Chadwick on the belt, and a good one at that. So Agnew now up to 11 grabs. Make that his 12th.
Wow.
Only a 3-man rush. Using the sideline. Good job. Giroux gets out of bounds.
This is just a Skelly drill here. I mean, Franklin just, it's 3-man rush. There's not a lot of pressure. Roll to his right or left. Hit the comebacks right here. I mean, they're moving down the field quickly, and they're not using up a whole lot of time.
But only one time out on the board for Missouri.
They're saving it.
Even if they get into the end zone.
Here comes the pressure.
And almost picked. It was hot before Lucas had even made his break.
See, that time Bennett dialed up max pressure. He brought 6 that time, and Franklin felt it. He got the ball out of his hands a little quicker than he wanted. Lucas, big body. Laid out for it, though. You want to see the effort.
Stopping the clock, 2:24.
Bennett's working that gum, isn't he?
Ton of time, and again, Lucas. They found him a little bit too late tonight, though, it seems.
I don't know.
Down to the 15.
Joel, there's time.
There's time, but you only have one timeout. You're banking on the onside.
But look at this throw by Franklin. That's a nice laser shot coming right into your living room.
Ooh.
Lucas does a good job of squeezing that ball in, and here they are, in the throes of a touchdown here.
He barely maintained possession before he was popped out of bounds. Franklin in trouble. End zone, he's got Washington. Touchdown, Missouri.
Wow. Shoot.
Incredible. Minute 59 to play.
Look at that, and they saved the timeout. They saved the timeout, Joel. That was a great drive by Franklin. Some stick throws on his part. Tall receivers, though. Watch Franklin avoid the pressure here. Going to slide to his right, stay alive. Throwing that ball on the run, just dropping it in. Damian Washington, he's 6'4", Lucas is 6'5", big targets for him.
But did he wait to go to his wide receivers too late? As I mentioned, Agnew's got 12 catches. Now he's finding his wideouts. And give credit to the Baylor defense. They had something to do with it, taking it away too. But Washington, a long one.
Yeah, I mean, that's just almost like the post corner route. Got behind Tyler Stevenson. Yeah, why not? Why not a little chest bump? They're right back in the game. They need a stop.
It's a 3-point game. We thought the scoreboard had the potential to blow up. It's been fairly quiet. 42-39.
Now, I'll say this, Joel. They don't have to onside kick here. They've got a timeout in their pocket. They need a field goal to tie. They've got the wind at their back. I wouldn't be afraid to kick this ball away right here and try and stop Baylor in 3 plays.
One first down for Baylor ends the game.
That's true. That's true.
But
I mean, what's the better odds? The better odds recovering an onside kick and getting the high bounce?
Well, you saw the high bounce, so Barrow's got it in his bag.
Okay.
There's no question he can do it, but can you get somebody in time to disrupt it?
I mean, that's a big decision by Gary Pinkel here.
If he had 2 timeouts, I'd agree with you.
Okay.
But only 1.
Baylor's playing for the onside kick. They got them all up there.
So here we go with the final minute 59. And what's it going to be for Missouri?
Well, Missouri's not showing anything. They're not showing their hand here as they're all bunched up.
And it's going to be an onside kick, high, 1 hopper, and a flag. Missouri was offside. Missouri was offside on the kick. It went the necessary distance, and he got a little hop, but a grab, and a good one by Baylor.
So they showed him the high hop, and then they gave him the dribble.
Good call.
Yeah.
It'll be declined. And they actually will mark it
Offside.
from there.
Kicking team number 21. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. First down.
Wide receiver Bud Sasser.
Now, they're not going to show their hand, and here they are. They're going to just try, just a slow roll. And there's the offsides.
Good call.
Yeah, good call.
So now Baylor has it at the 34.
Okay. Sounds like Ganaway time, doesn't it? After the night he's had?
It sounds like anything but a pass.
Yep.
Because you don't want to stop the clock with an incompletion. And Missouri looking to punch the ball away. Ganaway. And now they'll use their final timeout. Ganaway got about 4. Almost 5.
Timeout. Missouri, their 3rd and final of the half.
So now Missouri has the potential, if they can stop them, they could get the ball back.
I think he might be thinking, Gary Pinkel, that
I'm
is.
looking at seconds. How many seconds would be remaining if they can get the stop on 3rd down?
Well, but you go back to your point, though, Joel. Did they wait too long to go to those big, tall receivers?
Well, he fell in love, and we talk about young quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question he singled on Agnew frequently. But you also were throwing bubbles to Agnew.
Yeah,
so you put it in there. It was called for him to begin with.
The explosive plays just aren't there to Agnew. He can give you a lot of catches. He's sure-handed. But, trailing like they have been in this 3rd and 4th quarter, I think they needed to push that ball down the field a lot earlier than they did.
So the next running play, Ganaway with Griffin.
Niver in motion, the tight end.
Ganaway close to a first down. He's short by about 1.5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 2 coming up with the clock moving now, and Missouri can't stop it.
That's good push
So
up
they
front.
can take it down inside of 30 seconds. Around 30 seconds. If they fail on 3rd down, and then set it up for 4th down.
See Ganaway just put up his fingers there, the 3rd down. It's like, give it to me the 3rd time. I'll get this first down for you. That's what the senior's saying.
Now, Griffin's got to wait with the clock still at 15 seconds.
This ball's got to go up the middle because Missouri's coming off the edge here to take away any kind of an option play.
Here we go on 3rd and 2. And Ganaway's got it. And he's headed to the end zone again. They try to punch it away. What a play by Ganaway. Jacquez Smith, you could see him from behind just trying to spike the ball.
And I tell you, Ganaway came with Art Briles from Houston, transferred here. What a night he's had on homecoming his senior year. Good push up front. Cyril Richardson, great job on the end. Jacquez Smith trying to strip that ball, but
so it will be a 3-point win. You'd have to think he'll take a knee.
That's all he needs to do. Doesn't have to do what Phillip Rivers did the other night on Monday Night Football with the Chargers. Just take the snap.
6:99, as you saw, a new school record. We are headed to Seattle. Don't go anywhere because there's a great one at the Pac-12 tonight with Oregon, the number 18 of the nation on the road. Oregon taking on the Huskies of Washington. Now, we will also be watching that game. So Missouri can't win 2 in a row once again. And that has eluded them as they're now 4-5 for head coach Gary Pinkel. Art Briles and the Baylor Bears 5-3. So Missouri started to move it, but a little bit too late.
A little too late, but give Art Briles, Phil Bennett defensively for the most part, a lot of credit, but what a night for RG3 in that offense.
Oregon and Washington coming up next. For Brian Baldinger, Jim Knox, our entire crew, I'm Joel Myers. Thanks for joining us. A 3-point win, 42-39 on homecoming night in Waco. You've been watching Big 12 College Football Saturday, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Stick around. Washington and Oregon up next.